We have a lot to talk about, Joe, but I do want to start with Saturday's game, which was a long day's journey into tonight. 14 innings. You're down by 4 in the 13th. You end up tying the game, winning in the 14th on an error by the first baseman, Moss. How do you feel after a game like that?
It's exhausting. It's a long day. You're at the ballpark very early. You're standing at that rail for 6 innings, but it always feels a lot better when you win those type of games.
Now, there's so many layers to that game, Joe. First off, let's start when they score 4 runs in the top of the 13th with the 3 home runs. How does your team say, okay, let's just go to tomorrow?
You know, there was a lot of yelling in the dugout. Let's go, put good at-bats on this guy. Let's see what happens, and that's exactly what they did. They brought in a young man that had some issues with some walks, and we were patient, and we got some guys on, and all of a sudden Raul Ibanez hits a 2-run homer to tie it up, his second homer of the game.
Interesting parts of the game as well when you look at the way you had to use your pitchers. And you know, in July, you understand it because you got to, you know, sometimes you lose the battle to win the war. But now, because you're in the middle of a pennant race, you lose a battle, you could lose the war as well. But you've got to stand by your principles. You could not use Soriano in that game. You could not use Robertson. How tempting are you, or are you, to use those 2 guys?
I didn't even think about using them because of what Soriano had been through. He had thrown in 2 games on Wednesday and a game on, I believe it was Thursday. And he just looked fatigued. His arm had some fatigue to it, so I knew that I had to give him a day off. Robertson had thrown in the previous 3 games, had thrown a lot of pitches a couple days ago. And, you know, you talk about sometimes you're going to lose a battle to win the war. Well, we could lose them for the rest of the year if they get hurt and they're overused, and I have to protect them, and sometimes you just have to say, you're not pitching.
All right, in that Saturday game, the starter was Ivan Nova, and he looked really good the first game coming off the DL. Then didn't look that good yesterday, on Saturday. What happened?
Didn't have his command, and that's the key for him, command of his fastball and his curveball, and really struggled with his fastball early in the game where they jumped on him and got 2 quick runs, seemed to, you know, fix it in the 2nd inning. In the 3rd inning, he got some bad counts again, and we had to go to the bullpen early, and they did a really pretty good job. And
the bullpen actually included Freddie Garcia, who had not started since he was removed from the rotation, not pitched at all. He gives you 3 shutout innings, and then it just falls apart in that 4th inning when he gives up the 3 home runs. Did he just get fatigued, or did they catch up with him?
My guess is he might have run out of gas a little bit, and we had some opportunities to win that game, and I felt kind of bad for Freddie after he'd given up those 4 runs because we had some opportunities, and Freddie could have looked like the hero in a sense. But the offense picked him up, came back, and we won the game.
Corey Wade, who has been up and down, has not pitched well, nothing like he did last year. He ends up giving you a 1-2-3 14th inning, and then you end up winning because of that.
And I'm really happy for Corey because, you know, he pitched so well for us last year, started off this year great, went through some struggles, has not worked a lot, came in the other day, hadn't worked for about 10 days, and you can't expect the guy to be sharp. Gave up some runs, bounced back and give us a great inning today, and that's important.
All right, Melky Mesa, in his first big league game, he pinch runs in the 14th inning. Alex Rodriguez lines what should have been the game-winning hit to center field, and he missed his 3rd. At least he had the presence of mind to know I better not score because everybody saw that he missed 3rd. But what were you thinking when he missed 3rd?
I'm just thinking it's a crazy game. I mean, what else can happen in this game? You see us come back from a 4-run deficit. We have our opportunities, and Alex gets the big hit, and you think you won the game. You put him in there to run because he's got speed. He misses 3rd base, and you know, for Melky Mesa, we all make mistakes. You know, I've been there. I've forgotten how many outs there are. I've thrown to the wrong base. It's a debut he'll never forget, though, I can tell you that.
And he actually feels better about it because you win.
Yes, I'm sure he does.
Is that the type of game, Joe, that if you guys do something special in October, you look back on that and go, yeah, I remember that Saturday?
Oh, I think so, because of what we're in. I mean, we're in a close race, and you can't afford to lose games. And when you have opportunities to win games, you better win them.
All right, let's talk about some of the other things that happened over the week. Andy Pettitte comes off the DL. He gives you 5 shutout innings. He ends up getting the win. The thing that I was surprised about, he had 68 pitches after 4. I never thought you'd send him back out for the 5th. Why did you?
Well, I just felt that, you know, there were some left-handers coming up. He was going to face a left-hander to start the inning. He got a quick out. So I said, you know what, I'm going to let him face the next guy. And if I need to bring in a left-hander to face the next left-hander, I will. Got him out, and I said, well, you know what, we're at this point. I might as well let him face the last left-hander. It's his last batter no matter what. And he got a quick inning. That was our first 1-2-3 inning of the game. And I think we only had 2 in the course of that game. And he did a great job.
7 pitches in that inning, so he gets to the 75, which you said was the limit that you wanted to use him anyway. So next time out, does he go to 90, 95?
Yeah, 85, 90, and I might stretch it a little bit again if the right hitters are coming up and I want him to face some left-handers.
What does he mean to this team?
Oh, so much. Just his presence is so important, and his attitude and his work ethic. He means a lot.
All right, that was the first game of a day-night doubleheader. Second game, Ichiro just has a game for the ages. And what has happened to Ichiro of late?
He's just on fire. I mean, he's had a week for the ages.
Even against lefties.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting everybody, getting big hits. You look at the game, we win 2-1. I think it's the second game of the doubleheader. He has one of the RBIs. Chris Stewart has one of the RBIs. I think he was 9 for 12 in the series, and he carried it over into Oakland. And I saw a stat that he has had 9 hits in a 3-game series 9 different times in his career. That's unbelievable. I'd like to get 9 hits in a month.
Now, you obviously have been playing him mostly against righties, occasional lefty. Is that all over now, the way he's hitting? Is he going to play all the time?
Yeah, and I figure at some point during this 16-day stretch, I'm going to have to give him a day off. I'm going to look to see when I can do it. Maybe it's a day on the turf in Toronto. Maybe with the rain out in Minnesota had against Detroit, they got to change starters on Wednesday. Maybe it's that day. But he's too much of a force right now.
He seems giddy. He had not been in a pennant race since 2001. Do you think that this has re-energized him?
I think he's thriving in this situation. I think he really enjoys being around his teammates, guys that have accomplished a lot like he has, guys that are similar in age to him, and I think he's really enjoying it.
Now, in the second game of that doubleheader, David Phelps pitches and pitches very well. This guy's done everything you've asked him to do. Is he definitely in the forefront now when you think about next year, too?
Oh, I definitely think so. I mean, this guy has been so important for us, whether it's been short stints in the bullpen, long stints in the bullpen, starts. He's been able to do everything for us, and he pitched an outstanding game.
And another big moment during the week. There's been so many big moments. Every game means so much, and after the Saturday game, you had won 7 in a row. But CC Sabathia pitches on Friday with an extra day rest because of the rain out earlier in the week. And he looked as close to CC as we've seen all year.
He was dominant. I don't think he gave up a hit until maybe the 6th inning. I think he gave up 2 hits during the course of the game. Left after 8 with a 1-0 shutout. Just a tremendous game against, you know, an important series against the Oakland A's.
And then he goes 8, and you bring in Soriano, who has really been money for you since Mariano got hurt. And he gives up a pinch-hit home run to Brandon Moss. How much of a letdown was that?
Well, I mean, you don't want to see it happen. We end up winning the game, and I'll give him some credit too. I mean, he looked fatigued, and I think he felt it when he went out there, and he wanted to close and said he was okay. So I believed him. And he gets the base loaded with 2 outs and gets an important out to keep it to 1-1, and then Russell has the walk-off home run, which was extremely important. But Sori has meant so much to us.
Russell has come alive, Joe. He's not going to have a good year average-wise, but he has had some big hits. A lot of his hits really mean something. What has happened to him over the last month?
You know, I just think he just got going. He was too good of a hitter not to hit, and you know, he went to work very hard over the All-Star break, came back with a tremendous attitude. And the one thing about Russell is it's never affected him behind the plate and how hard he plays. He's really good at controlling his frustration, and I'm proud of him for that.